Off the cuff videos, I'll be doing these for a while until I have the time to do research and make high quality videos. But for now, let me talk about the fact that you really can't develop critical thinking skills online nowadays like I could when I was younger. My life purpose is, of course, to catalyze a paradigm shift in education such that we start teaching critical thinking skills in grade schools and in high schools so that by the time you graduate high school, you can discern propaganda from truth, lies from truth, um, information from propaganda, and the most effective solutions and actual science from ineffective solutions and pseudoscience. Um, if you can't discern truths from lies in the real world, and you can't utilize critical thinking, you're basically just an NPC. You know, that's the definition of NPC that I've created is lacking independent and or critical thinking skills. If you can't think for yourself, you're not really your own individual. You're basically just an empty vessel upon which an ideology is impressed upon you, and then you follow that ideology so that you have a sense of belonging to the tribe, and you'll never, ever, ever question your ideology, whether it's left wing or right wing, because then you fear being excommunicated from the tribe. And also, being passionate about politics gives you this false feeling of having a purpose in life and a meaningful life because, by debating politics and voting every few years, you're making a positive impact on the world. Not really. Now, if you got really invested in politics and you engaged in politics in such a way that you ran for office and exposed corruption in local and state government, and perhaps even if you're really competent at the national level, then yeah, you can find purpose in politics. But if all you do is debate it and tweet about it online and virtue signal, whether left wing or right wing, and vote for years, you're not having a positive impact on the world. That's not your life purpose. You need something where you're actually making a positive impact on the world around you. And this doesn't mean you shouldn't debate politics and you shouldn't vote. I'm just saying that's not sufficient purpose for life. And it's not, and having an ideological group that you belong to is not a replacement for having a really strong social circle of reliable friends who really care about you and love you and will love you regardless of your views on economics and foreign policy. You know, if if you love someone, you're not gonna be like if you have good friends, they're not gonna be like we can't be friends anymore because of your views on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Unless like you're a Nazi or something, obviously. But whatever, you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, when I was a kid, you still had YouTube video replies. Like I used to do this where I I would make a video where I'd make my argument on say gun control and say all the empirical data, all the meta studies from the CDC and National Academy of Sciences have proven that there are no gun control measures that reduce murder, suicide, or accidents. Now, if you want to learn more about that, I'll link to the video where I make that argument. I don't have the old video anymore. I lost much of my old YouTube channels. I would have a hard time finding it, but I don't know if they've even done a recent one on my new YouTube channel. If not, I will make one. Regardless, so I would make that video, and then someone else would make a video reply, and then so beneath my video would be then my topic. That would be the automatic title, but you could change the title of the video if you wanted. But it would typically be and then title of your video. That would be the automatic title created if you did a video reply. So you could watch a video and be like, I disagree with this. Click video reply, start filming. Or, better yet, you look at the data and evidence provided in the video, and then you make a counter argument with your own evidence. You debunk the other side's evidence to the best of your ability, and you make counter arguments to the arguments I made, right? And then I would make a video reply to that video where I would then create counter arguments, and then I would evaluate the logical validity of their counter arguments, and then I would defend my arguments and say, okay, the way you're attacking my argument here is through a straw man. I did not say X, Y, or Z. I said A, B, and C. But you took words out of my mouth to make me sound deranged with something I would never say. And here's why I disagree with that. So you're arguing with something I don't believe in, you know? Um, and doing that hundreds of times and going online and debating people on the left and right, which you used to be able to do, and have long format discussions on like forums and stuff, where you would type 1,000 words, they would type 1,000 words, you would go back and forth, and in between each post, whether video or text, you would do more research and then you would become more educated about the subject. So when I debated people about foreign policy, I would spend like an entire day or 2 or 3 days researching the issue more so that I could come back with a better counter argument. It was competitive, and men and boys like competition. So if you want boys to succeed in school, make debate a central part of the school's curriculum. For example, in a history class, you can debate whether or not the New Deal helped to alleviate the Great Depression or made it worse, exacerbated it. It's very simple. If you bring in that element of competition, then boys and girls will do equally as well in school. And girls also are hyperverbal. They might not like the competition as much, but they would love the ability to come to their own conclusions, then defend them, and go back and forth. And it would also allow them to develop their own critical thinking skills, so that both men and women could communicate more easily, because they would know how to debate issues in a calm and collective manner and understand that the principal tenet of a debate is that you treat the other person cordially and you don't attack straw man arguments, you address their arguments. And then you learn also that an argument in a relationship is not the same as a debate, because it's not about proving you're right. And really what you should teach in school is the point of a debate is not to win the debate, it's to learn. So like, for example, for my paradigm of education, the type of curriculum that I'll set up in the future is, for example, you would study different essays about the New Deal, some 3 essays in favor of the New Deal, a few essays neutral, and 3 essays against the New Deal, saying that the New Deal made the Great Depression worse. And then you write your essay with your provisional conclusion, say like 3 pages. And then you engage in the debate, and then you write a revised paper based on what you learned in the debate, what you learned from debating your peers. And you'd also engage in dialectics, where, like the Socratic method, whereby which 2 people are presenting ideas, or one person is engaging in the Socratic method. Regardless, you come together in a discussion for the purpose of finding the truth together. It's a non-competitive. Just think of it as a non-competitive debate, where you're able to say, "You're right. I was wrong about that. Maybe it's more like this." It's like a process of mutual discovery, where neither of you are, dead set on being right. But debates are important, because even you need to be able to debate in favor of things you don't believe in order to understand why other people would believe it. And you can never really you really can't understand your viewpoints on issues if you can't make a strong argument against them. You can't really be, against all forms of gun control if you can't make arguments in favor of gun control. Like, you have to be able to make those arguments. And if you can't do that, then your brain is just too inflexible to be able to change and evolve over time. You can't accept ideas that are different from your own. You can't play devil's advocate with yourself or with other people. And you're too married to your ideas, so you won't be able to have your worldview evolve over time as you let go of more and more bad ideas and learn like which of your opinions are wrong, because you'll have thousands of opinions on thousands of different issues. What are the chances that you're 100% correct about 100% of those issues? It's zero. So you're always wrong about tons and tons of things. But it's only through debating in order to win, and dialectics and research, logic, and evidence that you can come closer and closer to the truth and shed off more and more ignorance. And you have to always realize that you're fallible and that you could always be wrong about any specific issue you're discussing, thinking about, or debating. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please comment below. Yeah, I'd like to make a Discord server in the future. I'm going to make this channel specifically about self-improvement and dating for men, because right now it's the area of life I'm focused on, and then I'll create other channels for things like education, um, for marketing, for science, and other subjects I'm interested in. A YouTube channel has to have a primary subject matter which it tackles, because people want to subscribe to your video knowing the type of content they're going to get. They don't want it to be all over the place, unless it's like a Joe Rogan type experience thing where you're debating and you're having a new person on every day to discuss different issues, but they're all in the same sort of realm, if you know what I mean. But regardless, yeah, that's it for today. I have some thinking to do. Part of making videos off the cuff is it helps me to realize the things I haven't figured out yet, and the things I need to think more about and consider more thoroughly. And in the future, I will make video. I'm writing a script for a video right now, and it's so much work. Like a good 10-minute quality video, a good high quality 10-minute video takes about a week of preparation if you have about 2 hours of free time per day to make it really high quality. You know, unless you're doing a podcast, which I will also do in the future.